chere gantindin mang famila wilay wong. Vejo one gozo we proud of who we are.
We proud of who we are. Passion fruit, are you? Passion lovers, are you? Hey guys, welcome to the third and very last part of our conversation with the mystery guy. I know you've been wondering why we started a podcast series with relations, but it's very important to note that relations form our biggest currency. The 21st century, we recently realized that relationships are the core of our interactions in both political, economics, and social issues. So it was important to put this on the table and detect how we relate with each other, how we relate with our friends, how we relate with our families, and how we relate with our loved ones. I hope that throughout this series, we got to understand what we have to fix and what the solutions are as to how we relate in our society and in our communities. Thank you for being dedicated to this series, and thank you for all your comments, and we hope that this last part is going to top the icing on the cake. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
There is no way, she would be the source of my hurt, even though we have our issues.
Exactly.
But I need to get the best out of her at all times, and give her the best of what I can offer.
Exactly.
Now, another deal breaker is selfishness.
Yeah.
Selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
Selfishness in this case, it can take many forms. Not necessarily what selfishness brings to mind, but at its core, it would mean your partner prioritizes their wants and needs over yours over and over.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
For example, um, intimacy.
Yeah.
Intimacy in relationship, is something which, if you are not careful, most couples have this problem of intimacy, because at times the man is the one who makes the first step, or the woman, after she's thrown or shown her red lights, the man chooses to ignore because he feels he's tired. He doesn't need to, but when the man feels as to, that's when, it has to happen. That's being very selfish. That's being very selfish. Another case is, choosing yourself over your family. There's some men who do that. You see, I wrote a little bit something. I wrote something down. I said, why it might not seem like a big deal if your partner can't even let you have your way when it comes to little things like what to eat for dinner or what movie to watch. They might struggle to compromise when it comes to bigger, more important issues as the relationship progresses. Some men, when they hold the remote control, it is about what they want to watch from program to program till they feel like going to bed.
Okay.
You see? And then the last one, of course, I would say I have quite many. I would say mendacity.
Okay. I don't know the word, so can you actually? I'm sure I don't know if people know.
Men,
But
men,
I don't
men,
know if you know that word though.
mendacity.
We have a scholar on here today. What is that?
Mendacity actually is untruthfulness.
Unfaithfulness.
Untruthfulness.
Okay. Dishonesty.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
Yeah, dishonesty. You see, like every relationship, a good relationship, a strong relationship, I would say, is founded on trust. is
Yes.
trust.
Yes.
It's trust. Trust and trust alone.
Okay.
That means you know the other person is telling you the truth when you speak about their past, present, or future. Of course, nobody is 100% all the time. The other day, I was with a friend of mine who's a pastor, and his pastor called him and he told a lie. So it was a little bit funny for me, but just to
Okay.
tell you that, not everybody is truthful all the time. You
Okay.
see, people's subjective opinions would always lead to, disagreements about what really happened in a given situation. But a clear pattern of lying about important things like family, finances, feelings, exes, beliefs, it's a pretty serious indication that your partner simply
Mhm.
can't be trusted.
Okay. So
You
I want
see.
to go. I mean, you're talking about um human beings and how we progress like every day. It's a kind of growth. So
Mhm.
a lot of we cannot. There's no particular like you started by saying that. I love what you said. You said there's no two people are the same, and there's no
Mhm.
particular pattern. You're just giving like stating exactly ground rules, or we say the basic points, the basic rules for
Mhm.
relationships. But I want to talk about the part where somebody may have not been something before, because I want to talk about relationships as in before courting, before marriage, and marriage too as well, where someone wasn't doing the right thing before, but they are trying to work on the right thing. So they always say you should watch out for the growth, like to see you shouldn't just call people off, but you should watch out for their growth. So
Mhm.
what do you think about someone who may have been dishonest before and maybe they are trying to is it worth taking them back and trying to watch them work on themselves and be honest, or how do you handle such situations?
Okay, I'll tell you that. You see, it's about patterns.
Okay.
It's about patterns. Most people, fail to analyze patterns.
Okay.
A thief would always steal. A thief, an unrepentant thief will always steal
That's true.
until the point where, you can keep your money, keep your items in your house, and you come back and meet them where they are. You see, it you see, patterns are engraved in our DNA. For example, you meet someone, you know this is how this person reacts, right? Each time you
Mhm.
see that, each time you see the person, you try to always make sure that the patterns you know about that person, you try to see if it has upgraded or it has downgraded. Now, it will only change when you discover that that person, has developed positive patterns, whereby you keep your things and they don't get missing and stuff like that. You see, now talking about a relationship with someone who had lived a past, you know,
Mhm.
now it depends on you, on how much you can take. You are true. You don't judge someone by his past, but you need the past to be able to make a decision about your future.
That's true. That's a big one.
You see, yeah, you need to analyze the past. If you go to the bank, for example, if you open a bank account today, and you ask the bank, can I take a loan? They will not give you a loan.
That's
They
true.
will need to see your credit history.
That's
So
true.
in as much as we do not want to get into a situation whereby we don't want to know what you did in your past, but we need to understand the patterns in your past. You see, the
Exactly.
patterns in your past. If the boyfriend tells you that, okay, I was always having affairs with prostitutes, or I was going to strip clubs. Now is the present. But for you to enjoy the future, you need to make sure that he is healthy.
That's it.
You ask him to do his test in the present, but of course, those are things that happened in the past.
Okay.
You see, so it's something which is very delicate. It's very delicate. I always tell my friends jokingly, I say, trust in God, but lock your car. You know, take all your measures, take all your precautions. You see, so getting to into a relationship with someone that had lived a certain lifestyle is a good thing. He comes in with the experience. He comes in with I don't know what advantage that will bring to you, but you need to be able to weigh that past with what you want for yourself in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I always tell people. The past is very important. You don't erase it because
Okay.
like a bank account, the past is like your credit. You
Okay.
either have a good credit or a bad credit. So that's it.
So can we just go back? I mean, with everything you said, I think this just goes back to your point, spirituality. I think it just
Sure.
goes back. I think everything you're trying to say, everything we've gone around and around. I think what you're trying to say, we're even going back to is we should find spirituality in both persons before engaging in a relationship.
P, look, I'm very serious about this. I'm very serious about this. We live in a situation, we live in an era where, spirituality has gone out through the window, and there
Mhm.
is no iota of any, moral values around. Not even, we are in a situation where, a lot of evil is happening.
Exactly.
There are not too many, motivators.
Yeah.
Motivators here, I mean, those things that push you to really dig deep down. We are in a pandemic. Not everybody is going to church, which means that spirituality has really dwindled down. It has spiraled down, like really down. You see, the what we watch on TV, doesn't push us to, think deep. What the human mind is going through is a lot of desperation, a lot of, hatred, a lot of, a lot of negatives, and this impacts our integrity. It impacts our integrity. It impacts our integrity. You see, people right now, they do things. For example, you need to have you need to be someone who values integrity to be able to wake up right now and sit on your laptop and put in your 8 hours you're supposed to put in, when there was no COVID. But most people right now do just the opposite. Relationship wise is the same thing. You see, people need to be honest, open, spiritual. If you are not, I'm not talking about being religious. Religious, it's a whole different topic. But spirit, yeah, but being spiritual here, I'm talking about, knowing your purpose, pursuing your purpose, living within your purpose, and treating your neighbor as yourself. I was telling someone yesterday, uh, the more love we produce or we bring forth to people, the more God is present.
Exactly.
The more God is present. I'll tell you a story. I was traveling to Yaoundé, and I was my driver, and when I got to there, it was about to rain, real heavy, and I was alone with my driver in the car. So I stopped at the Total petrol station to to. I saw two ladies who walked up to me and asked if I could give them a lift to Yaoundé. I said, no, why not? No problem. They got him, put on their seatbelts at the back, and we went ahead. When we got to the when we got to the second one toll gate, one of the ladies behind took out a 10,000 francs note and gave to my driver, asked him to change the money, to pay the toll gate. He did give her the money, the change. And when we got into the last toll gate, getting into Yaoundé, she took out, I think it was 5,000 francs or 6,000 francs, and tried giving me.
Okay.
I asked what for, and she said, no, that was her transport fare. I told her, Madam, my car is not a public transport. I only just gave you a lift. Now, if you would take the money you were meant to pay for transport and help one other person in your family, then the love is going to go round.
Wow.
And I saw she almost cried. She almost cried. But
Wow.
that is the love I'm talking about. We can only conquer evil by love.
Okay. So there's something I always hear, that we cannot learn to love in relationships if we haven't learned to love out of relationships. Because there's sometimes when your partner is going to be unlovable, and you have to initiate the love, agape love, sometimes the love that you have, the love that you've learned to have for other people. That's what you have to initiate in your relationship, not the erotic love that we always take into it. Is that true?
Come again. I didn't get to you. We're kind of breaking.
Okay, we've learned that I heard somewhere, a wise person told me, I don't know if that's you, that for you to love in your relationship, you have to love out of your relationship. First of all, you have to have learned how to love, because you have to have learned empathy before getting into a relationship.
That's right. That's very true.
The person told me that the mistake we make is we feel like the love in the relationship is the only thing that's going to sustain us. Like, relationship love is different. That some days we are going to be unlovable to each other, and what we have to initiate is the love that we had already cultivated out of the relationship, learning to love other people and forgive other people.
That is actually something which is very deep. It's a deeper concept of loving. You understand? And that's the mistake, actually, and that's why most people get very disinterested in a relationship. That is one of the deal breakers as well. You see, they get disinterested because what they thought about, or what they thought was love isn't the reality in the relationship.
Okay.
You see, people think that great sex is proof of love. It is not. When you get married, when you're staying with your husband in the house, there'll be enough sex from morning to night, Monday through Sunday. You see, so what happens then? It's like those things that are material, they easily fade away in a relationship. You need to take it beyond that relationship.
Means we need to surpass superficiality to get into the depth of
exactly. Exactly.
The good,
exactly. It goes. Yeah. You see. You see. Patience. It's. I would want to conclude, right, and say something which is very simple but very deep. We when growing up, we were growing up with the notion of good or bad.
Okay.
We're being governed by good or bad. Is it good or is it bad?
Okay.
Is it good or is it bad? But right now, it is more of, is it going to give you life or death?
Exactly.
When you condition your life about life or death, is it whatever you are doing, is it adding more life to your days, or is it bringing death?
Exactly.
once we get to that point, then we will be walking in bliss in whatever we do, including our relationship.
Amen.
If you, like a man, you are being seduced by your PA at the office, is it life or death?
Death.
You see, if it's going to bring you death, then why do it?
Exactly.
You see, if it's going to bring you death, then why do it? If it's going to give you life, then do it. You see, so that's the concept which, if we take into our relationship, then we'll be walking in bliss and love and harmony and peace.
Man. So I was trying to be neutral, but you got me all religious, and I'm all about amen, and I'm waving my hands up.
Amen.
So much. I think we've got everything spoken. I didn't even realize how long we've been on here. But we've spoken for so long because you've been so insightful, so interesting, and everything. I don't think we need anything more. I think anything that we need about relationships, everybody will have to come up to Passion Fruit and listen to my Mr. Anonymous. So thank you so much for taking out your time to be here with us. We know how busy you are. You're a businessman. You're something else. So thank you so much for taking out this time to be with us.
It's a pleasure
to have you again. Thank you, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
If there's anything more you have to say, you can say it.
No, I think I've exhausted every but I will not, but do not hesitate to call upon me, anytime you need me, anytime, some kind of quick word. I can always, drop by as I'm inspired,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I would
so much.
Everyone that this is someone who inspires me so much. He's I don't want to say much because you guys may figure him out, but he's the center of my life somehow. He puts me straight up. So I know you guys will benefit from him because, So thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Easy and unique. Everywhere we go, we united. Everybody feeling delighted. Each time I talk in my dialect, I did make them feel so excited. Anytime they feeling rejected. Man for me, I will like one. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. There's it to tonight. There's it out in Virtual one goes